Good evening all and welcome to another video on All How the Ale. Tonight we're going for a beer that fuses two of my favourite things. Which are they? Well, it's chili and chocolate. The beer is this one, Choco Libre from Brewdog, and it is described as being a Mexican hot chocolate stout, and it contains a couple of nice chilies, ancho and cayenne, as well as the usual kind of things, but it's got cinnamon in there as well to give it a little bit of a twist. So yeah, 8.2%. I think it's £3.50 or £4 in your local Morrison's right now. And yeah, it's very pink. So, let's get it out into a glass and see what we think. Now, it's one of the nitro range, so I've had to go for a bit of a bigger glass than my usual Brewdog schooner, because it's just going to go everywhere. It's bigger. It's 402ml, you know, and I think the schooner only holds about 330 if you're lucky. So we are going to pour into my Chieftain IPA goblet, which has got plenty of room in it. So we're going to crack open and pour. And hopefully it's not too active in the glass that it goes everywhere before I pour it. So the pour is exactly what I expect from a nitro. It's going to have that lovely surge. There we are. Just hope it's got the surge. Anyway, yeah, look at it. It's kind of slowly surging up the glass. It looks lovely. It looks like you expect from a stout, and it's everything that you see on a Guinness advert, isn't it? You know, you get the surge and it goes up the glass, and eventually you get the black stout at the bottom and the tan head at the top. And that's kind of what we've got here. You know, we've got a really creamy looking, thick tan head. That is ridiculously small, tight and compact, as you would expect for a nitro. I mean, look at it, it's right there in front of you. It looks good. Does it smell any good? Does it smell of chocolate and chili? Let's find out. I'm not getting chili and I'm not getting cinnamon. I'm getting dark roasted malt, which is great. Getting a little bit of chocolate. Little bit of coffee, but none of the chili and none of the cinnamon. Interesting. So maybe that's because you've got a really tight head holding everything in under the beer. I mean, it looks good. You know, you've got that typically lovely nitro looking head that I can guarantee will be thick and creamy. What's the beer like underneath? Let's find out. Okay, so the head is thick and creamy and delicious as you would expect on a nitro delivered beer. Then you get the roasted malt. Then you get some sweetness that is a blend of the chocolate and cinnamon. And on the back end there is just a gentle hint of warmth. We need more. The body is what you'd expect for a stout. It's heavier than medium, but it's not thick and gloopy. The roasted malt is key here. You know, it brings everything you expect from a stout. And then you get the adjuncts that come in. Like I say, the sweetness of the cinnamon and the chocolate. They're there, but they're fighting each other. You know, you're not really getting a true cinnamon hit. You're not getting that lovely, delicious, creamy chocolate. It's a blend of the two, and it's a little bit interesting because the chili then kicks in and brings a little bit of something savoury to the whole flavour profile. I'm not sure what to think of it. There is a definite earthiness to this one as well. It's different. That said, the 8.2% is very well hidden. It's smooth, it's creamy, it's got a lovely mouthfeel. You know, to drink the beer, it's a lovely experience. The flavours are interesting. I mean, if ever you're going to put a savoury flavour into a beer, a stout is the kind of beer that you would put it into, because you've got those supporting dark roasted malts that would work well with a savoury edge. And the chili works. It does. But is it my cup of tea? Not sure. You know, it's got things I like about it. And it's got things that I'm not overly keen on. So yeah, before we drink the beer and have nothing left to photograph for the thumbnail, let's wrap up my initial thoughts on the old Choco Libre. So Choco Libre, would I buy you again? Come back to that one in a minute. What do I like about you? I like the roasted malts. You know, they are there, they're present, and they are good. You know, it's a good base beer. You've got that rich, deep, roasted flavour. You've got a little bit of supporting chocolate. You've got a nice little bit of coffee coming through on occasion. And then you get the adjuncts. You get the cinnamon, which kind of works with the chocolate but fights it at the same time. And then you get the chili that comes in on the back end and just kind of really rides roughshod over the whole thing. It kind of works, but it's not for me. You know, if I'm drinking a stout, I want a pure stout. I want those dark roasted malts. I want maybe a bit of chocolate, bit of coffee, but not the chili. You know, I'm all for toffee flavours. I'm all for things that you would expect, dark fruits, those kind of things. But chili just, it's a little bit, yeah, it's not for me on this one. It hides the ABV well, and it's got a lovely body and mouthfeel to it. So it's got good points. But it's got some interesting points that mean it's not for me, which means for me, I wouldn't buy it again. You know, I'm glad I've bought it once to try it. You know, I'm always up for a new beer experience, and this is different, but it means I'm not going to go for another chili flavoured beer. So I wouldn't buy it again. Would I pour it down the sink? No, because like I say, it's got things I like. There are good flavours in there. They're just not my cup of tea. Would I keep it in the fridge for others to drink and try? I'd keep it in there for them to try, you know, as something a little bit different. But it's not one that I would actively keep in the fridge for other people to try. So it's going to get a lower score from me, which is unusual. So let's have one more taste just to quantify where I'm going to put that score. So it's not going to get drain poured. It's not less than 1. For me to buy it and let others try it, you know, I'd perhaps put it in between a 2 and a 3, which means this is going to score somewhere between a 1 and a 2. How close to a drain pour is it? It's not very close to a drain pour, but it's equally not that far from being one that I'd keep in the fridge. So I'm going to give the Brewdog Nitro Choco Libre 1.5 out of 5, which is one of the lowest scores I've given on Untapped. It just doesn't work for me, I'm afraid. So you might love it, you know, you might love a bit of chili and chocolate. I do, I love chili and chocolate together, but not in a beer. So, ladies and gents, boys and girls, we're at the point in the video where I'm going to say, down there are some buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Let me know if you've tried Choco Libre in the comments section below and what you thought of it. On that note, I'm going to go drink the rest of this beer and not pour it down the sink and say that's been the beer. I've been Nick, and I'll see you again soon for another video.